in Dillon Gabriel. So they're jumping to the conclusion, like, oh my God, this is catastrophic that Shedeur is not playing in front of him. And all I'm saying is, why isn't he playing in front of him? Why do they have him so far behind?
Well, this is
throughout this whole process.
This is where
It's not his arm talent. We both agreed he has more arm talent than Dillon Gabriel. Okay, do we not?
But this is where you and I part ways. You didn't answer my question.
What if I told you the entire NFL media just woke up like they'd been hit by a lightning bolt and realized Dillon Gabriel ain't the superhero they hyped him up to be? Now they're scrambling like interns who lost their boss's coffee order, calling up every insider they can find. And guess whose name suddenly pops up? Shedeur Sanders, the same dude they once doubted, the same man they brushed off. Now he's the emergency backup plan for chaos. This twist is messier, juicier, and louder than a draft day meltdown gone viral. The NFL media just had their "oh no, we really messed up" moment, and it's glorious. You could almost feel the panic spread from New York to LA. Producers whispering in earpieces. Analysts clutching cue cards like lifelines. Suddenly, that unthinkable phrase starts making the rounds.
No. It's all the Browns are coming up with a back injury. And I don't know. That's not true at all.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You remember Nathan did have to go, guys, we're getting he needed help, off the field.
Jeez.
Nathan presented that when he went down on Friday.
Did he get hit?
I don't know.
How do we not know that?
Maybe it's a muscle. Well,
do you understand why
he had a back injury in Colorado as well?
Okay, but do you understand why I'm confused that one of the most popular dudes, certainly in the NFL, look at the jersey sales and everything, and he's on Twitch every day. He's doing social media. He's got a team around him filming his every move.
Okay.
Maybe Dillon Gabriel isn't that guy. The silence that followed, brutal. It was like watching reality hit a room full of people who just realized their golden boy might have been fool's gold all along. For weeks, these same loudmouths were pounding desks, throwing stats like confetti, screaming that Gabriel was the future. The clueless reporter was tossing out numbers like it was a Powerball draw, and the overdramatic insider dropping exclusive updates that aged worse than warm milk under studio lights. But now the lights are blindingly bright. They rewatched the tape, checked the scoreboards, and stared at each other with that haunted look, the kind that says, we hyped up a quarterback who's scared to throw past 5 yards. What a fall from fantasy. Watching Dillon Gabriel play lately feels like watching someone try to connect to Wi-Fi without knowing the password. All effort, zero progress, and pure confusion everywhere. You can feel him trying, but deep down, you already know. Nothing's connecting. He drops back, scans the field like he's trying to translate a menu from another planet, and then releases a 5-yard toss so slow you could literally bake a cake before it lands. Every drive plays out like a bad rerun. First down, hesitation. Second, panic. Third, shuffle. Short throw, punt, repeat. It's the same sad rhythm over and over again.
But I'm going to say what I've said the last 2 weeks and what I've said all along. I don't see anything in this guy that makes me think he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. I'll admit it's not fair because he hasn't played enough and he doesn't have good talent around him. But I just feel like if you had that quarterback, you'd see it a little, right? Wouldn't you?
You should see something.
There's nothing with this guy. Again, he's not terrible, but there's nothing I've seen with this guy in the preseason and training camp and in the season so far.
Yet for months, the sports media fed us this fairy tale that Gabriel was the next franchise savior, the golden boy with poise and IQ. They treated him like a Marvel hero whose only real power was being kind of average. His leadership, supposedly immeasurable. Well, turns out it is measurable, and the scale reads 3 and out. Now, after weeks of loud denial, those same analysts are sprinting backward faster than Gabriel in a collapsing pocket. Suddenly, every TV studio is full of "we always had our doubts" energy. They're replaying his missed throws like it's breaking news, acting shocked as if they didn't spend the last month hyping him like a discount Tom Brady. The same voices that called him the answer now look like they're frantically deleting old tweets mid-show. And right as the meltdown spreads, here come the Cleveland Browns, creeping into the storyline like a messy subplot nobody asked for. Their season's dangling by a thread, their offense allergic to creativity, and their fans. They've hit that stage of despair where you start Googling available quarterbacks who can actually throw. It's getting wild out here. That's when someone whispers a name. Not just any name, Shedeur Sanders. And just like that, the whole room freezes. Analysts stop mid-sentence. The clueless reporter zones out like she just cracked a government secret. And the overdramatic insider gasps, already typing a tweet like, "Big moves brewing in Cleveland," because deep down everyone knows if there's one man built for this kind of chaos and spotlight, it's Shedeur. He's got that mix of swagger, precision, and ice-cold calm that you just can't fake. And he plays football like a surgeon in designer shades, sharp, smooth, and surgical.
I think there's as good a chance that he stinks as that he's decent.
I don't know. I've never seen him play at the NFL level. I thought his college career was a little over-embellished, but to his credit, he played well in college. I just don't know how well. And I think a lot of the hype was because of his dad, who's regarded as one of the great athletes of all time. But it just doesn't make sense when you acknowledge the fact that NFL coaches and owners would literally trade their moms into sex slavery to win games. It is a win at all cost proposition in the NFL. They cannot win.
While Gabriel's still out there overthrowing basic slants like it's a hobby, Shedur's threading needles with swagger, making impossible throws look like warm-ups. He doesn't just play the game, he owns it. The Browns might say they're evaluating all options, but come on, you can smell the desperation through the TV screen. Their front office is pacing like reality show producers after a season tanked in ratings. They've seen enough of the Gabriel experiment. The short passes, the hesitation, the awkward shrugs. They don't need flickers, they need fireworks, and they know exactly who can bring the spark. So they make that call, quietly, cautiously, and boom, the rumor storm hits like thunder. NFL insiders start hearing whispers, reporters tweet cryptic fragments, and those famous eye emojis start popping up everywhere. Suddenly, the media rediscovers Shadur Sanders like he's a new trend. Headlines explode with breaking news. Shadur Sanders can actually play football. No kidding. The man's been doing it all along. And here's where things get downright hilarious. The same folks who once said Shadur was too flashy, too confident, or not ready are suddenly talking about him like he's the second coming of Tom Brady crossed with a motivational guru. They're tripping over their own words, desperately rewriting history, acting like this was their plan all along. What a plot twist. Now the loud analyst is on screen, chest out, saying, "I always said Shadur had that it factor." The clueless reporters nodding like she didn't just spend 2 months hyping up Gabriel's so-called steady hand. And the overdramatic insider, he's out here dramatically declaring, "This changes everything," conveniently forgetting he was one of the main people who built this whole mess to begin with. It's pure chaos disguised as analysis. Meanwhile, back in Cleveland, the Browns headquarters are buzzing like a secret bunker during a scandal. Nobody's confirming anything, but the energy is too wild to ignore. Coaches whisper in hallways about potential transitions. Players sound just a bit too excited in interviews, and even the janitor probably knows something's brewing behind those closed doors. And then, boom! The headline drops like a bomb.
In this conversation, why Kevin Stefanski's not giving us answers? Why not even considering looking Shadur Sanders' way right now? Are you watching Dillon Gabriel's performances the past few weeks? Yikes! Here's some numbers for you. His passing grade, according to PFF, is 47.6. That's worst among all starting quarterbacks. His completion percentage, 59.9, fourth worst. All right, this is where it gets jaw-dropping, folks, because his yards per attempt are 4.9, also worst among starting quarterbacks. So how do you throw the shortest passes of any quarterback?
Cleveland Browns evaluating options after concerns about Gabriel's consistency. Translation? They've seen enough misreads to fill a blooper reel. Dillon Gabriel's performances have been like eating cereal without milk. Technically doable, but painfully dry and completely disappointing. He plays like a man buffering in real time, freezing mid-throw while defenders sprint toward him. His pocket awareness? You could measure it in seconds, plural, because that's how long it takes him to realize disaster's already knocking on his door. So when whispers of Shedeur Sanders start circling again, the fan base reacts like someone just told them a superhero might be signing autographs in Cleveland. And honestly, who could blame them? Shedeur was born for the spotlight. He moves with laser precision, reads the field like it's sheet music, and throws darts so clean that defenders start questioning their career choices halfway through the game. His composure under pressure, unreal. It's not just calm, it's cinematic. The Browns front office starts daydreaming about jersey sales, primetime redemption arcs, and ESPN montages set to dramatic music. The NFL media, they're practically drooling over the potential headlines. You can already hear the recycled phrases warming up. Next-gen leadership, born winner, Dion's influence runs deep. It's like watching hype get reborn in real time. And just when the excitement hits a fever pitch, boom, Cleveland drops the bombshell. Shedur's dealing with a back injury. Cue the collective confusion. A back injury out of nowhere? Instantly, the league splits into two camps. Camp 1 thinks it's legit. Camp 2 thinks the Browns are playing 4D chess. And honestly, Camp 2 might be right. Because if there's one thing Cleveland knows how to do better than win playoff games, it's turn pure chaos into a masterclass in misdirection. That back injury doesn't sound like medical news. It sounds like a magician's distraction. a headline to keep the media chasing Sheduros while the playbook quietly gets rebuilt around Shedeur. It's the oldest trick in sports politics.
Only one of them has the potential to be the future at the position for the Cleveland Browns. It ain't Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is 40 years old. He will not be on this team next season. It won't be Kenny Pickett. I mean, we've seen Kenny Pickett. It's not going to be Kenny Pickett. Dillon Gabriel is not ready for first team reps. And he's got just too many limiting factors to logically say this guy is going to be the long-term solution at quarterback. Now, is there a chance he could, and he could defy the odds and be that guy? Yes, but again, the odds aren't great. So really, it's only Shadur Sanders, and that's where all the hype and all the excitement.
Hide the truth in plain sight. Announce a soft injury, let the rumors run wild, then unleash the real plan when nobody's ready for it. Meanwhile, the NFL media eats it up like it's their first hot take in months. The loud analysts suddenly pretending to be a doctor, talking about lingering tightness like he's on the Browns' medical staff. The clueless reporter nods like she just read a textbook on anatomy. And all the while, the Browns are quietly smiling behind closed doors because they know exactly what they're doing. The clueless reporter is glued to her phone, frantically scrolling through social media, trying to stitch together a timeline that doesn't even exist. Meanwhile, the overdramatic insider, bless his dramatic heart, is already teasing that something big is brewing behind closed doors in Cleveland. Just a month ago, Dillon Gabriel was the so-called safe pick, the steady hand. Now, he's become every analyst's favorite cautionary tale, the perfect "I told you so" example they pull out to sound like geniuses after the fact. His old highlight reels, now they're comedy material. His name pops up in every "What Went Wrong" segment across sports TV, like a weekly reminder of misplaced faith.
In the next 3 to 4 weeks, this gonna make you go, wow. He's not growing, arm not getting stronger, he's not getting more athletic, and he sure as heck ain't getting younger. So what can Dillon Gabriel do in the next 3 to 4 weeks to make you go, wow? At least Shedeur is sitting there at 6'2", 215, 220. And more than anything, at least Shedeur showing you he has it. He has moxie, he has poise, he has charisma, he has swagger, all of those things that translate on the football field. At least Shedeur showing you the ability to turn programs around. Like, what are you going to see from Dillon Gabriel, T, in the next?
And the irony? Gabriel's downfall isn't even juicy, and it's just painfully dull. No scandal, no locker room meltdown, just boring football dressed up as leadership. He's like a motivational poster that forgot what motivation even means. Meanwhile, Shedeur's myth keeps growing. Even while injured, the man doesn't even need to step on the field to dominate headlines. Every whisper about his rehab, every cryptic tweet, every vague comment from a teammate turns into breaking news. The Browns' social media team can post a random photo of the practice field, and fans will zoom in, analyzing Shedeur's like FBI agents. Is that him? Is Shedeur secretly practicing? And that's how you know the hype is real. Because Shedeur doesn't even have to play to own the story. He is the story. He's become the embodiment of everything Cleveland's been starving for. Swagger, composure, and pure purpose. The city hasn't felt this kind of quarterback energy in, well, forever. While Gabriel's out there tossing wobbly passes and crafting excuses, Shedeur's name alone is selling one thing Cleveland hasn't had in years: hope.
Anything to the offense, give him an opportunity to go in there and play.
Yeah, obviously my focus is where we are right now, Mary Kay. That's not my focus.
If he had said to you guys, hey, I want to play, I can play, I mean, would that have factored into this at all? Or what was the thinking behind that, and how'd that go?
Yeah, he obviously came in Saturday with his back injury. We were hopeful that he'd be able to move around well enough to suit up on Sunday, but put him through a pregame.
The media is eating this redemption arc up like it's a Hollywood blockbuster. Suddenly, that flashiness they mocked is now called authentic charisma. That swagger they once hated, now it's command presence. Amazing how fast reputations flip when desperation kicks in. And let's be real, the Browns are desperate. They've been chasing quarterbacks the same way people chase Wi-Fi signals. One moment of hope, followed by hours of disappointment. So when Shedeur's name popped up, you could practically hear the whole city let out a collective sigh of relief. Even with the injury rumors floating around, he's already outshining the starter without even playing. The locker room believes in him, the fans believe in him, and now even the analysts, the same ones who couldn't predict rain in a thunderstorm, are suddenly sounding confident. The loud analyst is yelling, "This move could reshape the AFC!" The clueless reporter's nodding so hard she nearly drops her cue cards. And the overdramatic insider, he leans back, smirks, and whispers, "Mark my words, something big's coming. You can feel it in the air. The shift, the suspense, the storm building before the spark. Because behind all the noise and mystery, the Browns are cooking something. You can sense it, that quiet confidence, that energy in the locker room.
Taking those hits and playing decent in this game. But now when you look at some of the negatives on film and the things that he needs to get corrected, he's making some throws that you can't make in these type of situations, especially on the road and especially as a rookie on an offense that's struggling to move the football. The Browns are way too predictable on offense right now when it comes to throwing the football. I don't know if he has a high enough ceiling right now to be a franchise starting quarterback in the NFL that you can build off.
That says maybe, just maybe, they've finally found the guy who can turn Cleveland's chaos into rhythm, frustration into fire, and pressure into performance. The so-called back injury, it might just be the smokescreen before the explosion. And when that moment hits, when Shedeur steps out in that uniform, calm, healthy, and locked in, the NFL media will trip over themselves pretending they always saw it coming. They'll gush about his perseverance, his comeback story, his destiny. But we'll know the truth. They didn't discover Shedeur. They just finally caught up.
They are unwilling, clearly, to allow Shadur Sanders to man the offense in a real NFL game. Kevin Stefanski was asked about it, and he said, I'm not concentrating on the current development of Shadur Sanders. I'm worried about what we're worried about. I'm now convinced that we need to do a deeper dive investigation into why they are so reluctant to give the kid a shot.
They stumbled into him by pure accident. The same media that spent months hyping Gabriel's mediocrity suddenly realized their masterpiece was actually a mess. And now they're scrambling to rewrite history. It's almost poetic. The man they ignored becomes the savior and the one they crowned as the future turns into the punchline. They can't stop praising the very quarterback they once dismissed. Meanwhile, the so-called golden boy, Gabriel, is getting quietly buried under roster adjustments. Like a bad storyline the league wants to forget. And when the Browns finally make it official, when that injury magically heals just as Gabriel's confidence completely collapses, the headlines will be cinematic. The comeback Cleveland didn't deserve, but definitely needed. You can already see it coming. Gabriel will fade into the background, slowly becoming the NFL's version of that guy everyone thought could throw, until the lights came on and reality hit hard. The analysts will move on to their next narrative.
Dillon Gabriel got 4 games. You going to London, you facing a tough-ass defense. You got to go to Pittsburgh, they cracking right now. They done found themselves. You got to go to New England. That's a tough-ass defense.
They're playing good.
You know what I'm saying? They playing good, too. If Dillon Gabriel, the media know, if Dillon Gabriel go 0-4, hey, guess what we got, y'all? Shedeur next. They never going back to Flacco. The media know damn well they not. It don't matter who the two.
The insiders will claim they saw it first. And the Browns, they'll finally have what they've been searching for all this time. A quarterback who doesn't flinch, doesn't fumble, and doesn't fake composure when the heat's on. And if the back injury ever turns out to be part of a bigger cover-up, even better, because nothing says legend in the making like a secret plan hidden behind a fake rehab schedule. So as the season unfolds and the media keeps pretending to analyze, remember this? Dillon Gabriel was the safe choice that never delivered, the textbook player who couldn't turn the page. But Shedeur Sanders, he's the wild card, the chaos, the spark, the one who might just rewrite the entire playbook. The Browns might have finally learned that in football, just like in life, the truth hurts, especially when it's rocking a gold chain, calm under pressure, and calling the shots. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed this breakdown. And stay tuned, because this story's far from over. See you on the next one.